Welcome. Thanks for joining us so early. And Barry's going to facilitate and moderate this presentation. We do have our team on from CEI, from Tree Branch, which also is representing Savent Crowd Compass. Marcia Tivoli, our chairperson for the Professional Development Committee and first vice president of MSCCA, and myself, Christina Push, executive director of the Maryland State Child Care Association. And I think I know most of you, but again, welcome. And we're so excited that you're joining us virtually and that you will participate virtually. We're excited to be able to still continue with the statewide conference that we have done for 33 years. So hate to miss a year. Hopefully you're all staying well on COVID. And Barry, if you're ready, I'm gonna let you go.
I'm ready.
All right, man, hit it.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us this morning. Hope everybody's doing well and we're all here. Well, like the characters there say, thanks for joining us. As everybody knows, you can go to the next slide, please. As everybody knows by now, we are going to have to move this to a virtual conference. And with that, we certainly did not want to lose our exhibitors. You're a vital part of our organization. And the committee and Chris has done some diligence in trying to find a good way to support this virtually, and we have teamed up with CEI and of course Tree Branch, who is our web group, to come up with a virtual platform to provide you with a service that you can still reach out to our attendees. So with that, we're going to go through the slides. If you have any questions, just type it in the chat. It's being monitored. We will direct your question to the proper person, and then we will deal with your questions. Every couple of slides, we'll chime in on that. First of all, the slides are pretty self-explanatory, but we'll talk about them. What can you expect, and from who can you expect it? From MSCCA, you can expect constant communication like we've had in the past. That's not going to be interrupted at all. You'll get my weekly housekeeping emails. You'll get communication from the MSCCA themselves, and we won't drop that ball at all. What you have to understand with this conference is that attendees must interact with the exhibitors to receive conference credit. So the fear of not having interaction with the attendees is not there. It's non-existent. They have to come talk to you, visit you, and we'll get into how we're going to do that in a couple slides from now. One of the things that we will be able to provide this year is the attendee list. You'll have basic contact information on that list. We're not quite sure what we'll be able to pull, but you'll have the contact information you'll need in order to contact the attendees ahead of time. If you have a question about how many attendees we have so far, Chris will address that here in a little bit. From CEI and Tree Branch Group, what you'll be able to do is the items under there, the touch points, analytics, technical support, and communication, which I'm going to let Max or Leanne, who is from CEI, go into that to tell you what we'll be able to do with that. So Max or Leanne, whoever wants to take the helm.
Yeah, so we'll be able to set up surveys for you, which I'm going to hopefully show you here at the end of this presentation, which will collect analytics. So depending on what questions we have set up on your page, we'll be able to track that, and we'll be able to set up chat features so you can talk to the attendees one-on-one. So yeah, it will be able to set up a website for you. There's going to be a whole bunch we can set up supporting documents. And once we get on there, it'll be better explained once you have a visual.
Jen or Denise, you got anything to add to that?
Well, Max, do you want to introduce yourself, since I guess a lot of these folks know who we are from past conferences, but we've introduced yourself, Max.
Yeah, so this is Max Corrigan with corporate events. I'm here to support you through the meeting, the 24th through the 27th. I'll be setting up rehearsal times with you to kind of go over the platform, and yeah, I'm here to help any way I can on this virtual event. I'm looking forward to this meeting.
If
Sorry.
before I forget what I was going to say, everyone should have received an email that tells you video format and some I'll use the term housekeeping ideas or clicks or whatever to provide a video clip that we'll get into later on. If you have not, please send a chat to Denise so we can resend that email to you. Certainly have samples to show you, but these are what we've decided to do and we're still developing the way to do it. Everyone who's a registered exhibitor will have a page. There'll be I guess the best way to describe it could be, oh, I'm sorry, that's going to be that list. Max will get into that here in a little bit. We'll have a logo with your website link address, and the participants will be able to click onto your link, and that will give them a partial credit for visiting an exhibitor. Each one of these levels, they will get a credit or point, so to speak, for visiting an exhibitor, and that will be added up and got to the end where they will then get credit for visiting exhibitors during the conference. That's part of their requirement in order for them to get their PAUs. Max, you want to pull that screen up with the link so we can show them how we're going to do that?
If we can just go through this presentation, I'll pull it up and we'll run through all of it at the end of this presentation.
Perfect. Okay. Level 2 is the introductory video. And at that point, if you want to offer discounts or whatever you want to do on that video, that's fine. The introductory video is the reason I said earlier, make sure you've got the email that tells you the parameters for doing the video. There really is no time limit to the video, but obviously you're not going to be able to keep the attention of somebody for, 15, 20 minutes at a time. So we're asking we prefer a short couple minute, 5 minute, 6 minute video to discuss your wares, to discuss, what you have to offer. On that video, you can reach out to the different participants and pretty much say whatever you want. Obviously, we're going to review your video ahead of time. Again, the participants will get points for hitting that level 2 connection. Level 3, gamification, prizes, raffles, promo teasers, social media marketing, things like that. We are working on some type of everybody has been with us before. We are working on some type of a game to come up with, some kind of a scavenger hunt, some kind of marketing pull, plug, whatever. We are trying to do that. We're trying to figure out if we can, it seems like a scavenger hunt is going to be the best choice for us. So we'll get back to you on that. What that will be as soon as we can iron out all the details and get it done. But it is going to be done. We're not putting anything up here that's not going to happen. Level 4, now this is for everyone who has paid for a prime booth or has worked out arrangements to have a prime booth location. We're going to give you the opportunity to have a live interaction with attendees. I'll touch briefly on this because Max will be able to go into this later on another slide. We're going to have a series of time, whether it's 4 hours one day, 4 hours the next day, or the whole day, whatever, where attendees can sign up to have a Zoom meeting or a virtual meeting with you and only you, so you can have your one-on-one with the people who are interested in your wares. On that level, those participants will have to give or sign the information where you're going to get their specific information. You're going to get their name, number, email address, their needs and things like that. So that's the one that's going to really give you the nuts and bolts of who wants to talk to you, who's interested in your products, etc. Jumping back to one of the first things I said, you will get an entire attendee list, but this level 4 list is going to give you the crux of really what you want to get into. Is there any questions on this screen before we jump? Because we've gone through a couple screens already.
We're answering in the chat, Barry, but we're continuing to look at that, and I'm hoping that the questions will be addressed when Max has finished his part, but we'll get back to this.
I said we check every couple screens. I just want to make sure. All right, next screen, please, Marsha. Here's some additional exhibitor benefits. Even though the conference is only 3 days, this whole, let me go on the row here. The exhibitors are going to have access to their videos and any information they provide on September 12th. That's a little more than a month prior to the, well, it's not a month, it's about 12 days prior to the conference. It's going to give you the opportunity to look at your video, make any changes, clean it up, whatever you need to do to that. Live access for the conference information for these videos and all is going to be available from September 14th through October 14th. So that means that if someone doesn't get the opportunity to click your link or your information or your website during the conference period, they're going to virtually have 30 days in order to click in there and see, see your product, see your website, see your information, see whatever. We're going to have a virtual reception, which will be interesting to say the least. To see everybody all at the same time. Quick fly interviews. What we're going to do is we're going to do random 30-second, minute, 2-minute, whatever interviews with you as exhibitors, and they will be played throughout the conference period, randomly played throughout the conference period. And then, like we said earlier, you're going to have access to the Compass app and attendee list. Next slide, please.
So this is my slide. So I just wanted to, some of our sponsors are on here, and we wanted you to know that we will be, I will be, and I have reached out to some of you to meet separately, but we will be highlighting our sponsors in numerous ways throughout the conference, because some of you have contributed for like a breakfast or a reception that obviously we're not having that in person. So for the most part, the funding will go towards our keynotes, and our general session plenary funding, because that's where it is, the most expensive. So we wanted to make sure that we highlight you. For example, we will have a video, and Max can explain this more, to clip to play prior to the keynote presentations. And you can either give us a, elevator speech and some information. Also, you can introduce the keynote either live or during that time. We'll give you that information to read that introduction, to share with you. And then rotating your logo before the general sessions, we can do that in some type of box. I mean, Max, if you want to chime in, that it would be like a banner to have your information during those general sessions, and we have 5 of those, and name in the lower third during the keynote. So there's a number of options that play together and that we will highlight. There will also be information that's from September 14th to October 14th about your sponsorships, and we can also do that on our social media page, so that Denise or Jen, if you wanted to share that as well, that we'll be able to highlight our sponsors in lots of different ways. So we also will meet with you separately. I'll be calling and emailing you so that we can see if there's anything that you would prefer or that you would like to see us do, and then we'll see if we can make that work or not.
Again, these are all benefits that Chris was going over. So if there's any questions about the rotating logo, basically it's going to be a PowerPoint that we'll be able to rotate in front of the general sessions to kind of give you some more exposure. The lower thirds would be your name. As you can kind of see the image right there, it says sponsor. So you'll see the person speaking. We'll have your name down there as your company. Again, if you have any questions, I think my contact information will be at the end of this PowerPoint. Reach out to me and I'll be able to, help you and facilitate any questions.
And I'll connect all the exhibitors with that email as an introduction, both to Tree Branch and to Max, so that we're all on the same page with communication, working through this. So Denise and Jen, you want to talk anything about the social media component of that?
Well, I think what's great about this event is that it is virtual and there's going to be a lot more opportunity for engagement and evergreen effect with social media and anything online. Given that we're going to be collecting the information that you want put out, such as images, video, etc., any kind of content you can deliver to us, but we'll be going out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and we have a good amount of followers mostly on Facebook, but we also want to try to tap into LinkedIn as well for a little bit for more of the professional side. So we're Tree Branch Group, and again, we'll have our contact information at the end that you can provide, and we'll work through any ideas too that you have that you may want to use for us to further promote you. But I think it's going to be a win-win.
And I would also add that I think that the date of August 20th will be, that's why we kept this in this PowerPoint, is what was is preferable for the sponsor information as well. So you'll get an email from us this week connecting the dots, and then making sure that we get the information from you that's necessary to, put this on to play and implement it.
We do want to start advertising and promoting,
Right. So if we can get
early, earlier than the, late August, we want to get started as soon as possible.
If we can, if you have it before that, that would be great. And then
Awesome.
share how many followers we do have on our social media at all.
It's about 2,600 for Facebook. And we get a lot of good engagement, like quality engagement, people making comments. So
Alyssa,
we can also share it on go-tos as well. Yep.
Melissa, that was a great question. Yeah, so we're definitely going to get more exposure going virtual, as we're putting the cap at 1,000. I don't think you guys have been that, live. I think your numbers were closer around 500.
No, closer to 800, but
800. Okay.
Yeah, we're between 500 and 1,000 is what we can do with our production team with Max and getting this out in a professional way.
Correct.
We have actually like 2,700 people following us, but for instance, we had about 3,800 people reached in the last month with 5,200 post engagements. So that's on the Facebook page.
So we'll use the sponsors and with our exhibitors as well, but we'll give, again, certain rights to our sponsors as they will be highlighted due to their contribution of sponsorship.
It's going to be fun.
You can go on, Marcia. Barry? Or is it Max? Sorry.
Yeah, I can speak to this. So this is what we're going to need from you. I'm going to jump over to the Dropbox area. That's the area that we're going to want all this information uploaded to, and we'll be able to share that to you via email. We're going to need your logo, so a PNG file, JPEG, some type of logo to support your company. All the PowerPoint presentations hopefully will be in 16:9 aspect, which we'll show you on the next slide. Pre-record videos. I think I sent out an email that describes how to do a pre-recording. If you have any questions, again, you'll have my email. We can help you walk you through that. Questions that you might have that you want on your page that relates to your bio, your company. We're going to need that information as well. And again, that should be in red letters. All files submitted by 8/20/20.
And then I would say if you have an issue with the templates, we do have we have templates we can share with you with the 16:9 and backgrounds. If anything that you need, we have those developed in Tree Branch, or MSCC can share those with you.
And honestly, the sooner you get content to us, the sooner we can assimilate everything and start broadcasting and advertising your business. So sooner the better. So if anybody needs to send content, anything like that, we'll have our contact information. We'll also be showing it to Barry first for approval, of course.
Andrew has a question. The PowerPoint deck, single page or limit?
I don't personally have a limit, so unless the group does by any chance, but yeah.
We don't really have a limit. I mean, obviously, if you want engagement, it's not going to be 50 pages, but yeah.
Don't go, yeah.
No offense, but it'll be something as your salespeople and you're in this business should know. But yes, there's no limit to it.
So the next slide, I think, was the demo. If you don't know where the 16:9 is, this is a screenshot that actually shows you, because PowerPoint will default to a 4:3 aspect ratio, which isn't what we want. We want the widescreen. You know, that's what everything is right now. So we just want to make sure that when you guys are creating your PowerPoints, you're doing it in 16:9.
And again, we have templates. Just contact us and we will make sure between the help, the information you have at the end of this slide, you can contact us for that as well.
And we are recording this for anybody that wants to review this again.
Hey, playground specialist, take a look at that picture, Eric.
Sorry, Eric. We put you up there, but the camera broke, so I'm gonna use somebody else. Amanda wasn't available.
Barry, do you want to take this one?
Okay, this is one of the ideas for the logo information screen that I talked about earlier. This is kind of like what we're looking for. And so when Max, correct me if I'm wrong, when you click on the page, Max is going to show you earlier, this is what they'll go to. And then from here, they will be able to click down onto your website. If you have another video playing, they'll be able to click onto that. And yeah, you can put pretty much whatever you want on this. And this is pretty much what we're after. We're after something very similar to this. And there was, Max, I'm sorry, I got up a minute ago. This
That's okay.
picture size, did you address that?
Did I address what? I'm sorry.
Picture size, or is that in another screen? I think it's a screen coming up, actually.
Yeah, we haven't gotten to that one yet.
Slide.
Yeah, there we go. Properly sized pictures, that's going to be key for clarity on this.
TV always adds a few pounds, so I guess the internet goes that way as well.
Okay.
Well, also, if you're bringing in an image, it should be the same. It should be pretty much the same size of what you want in the presentation. Because if you start scaling it manually, I know it's very tempting. You can get things that happen like this, where he gained about 60 pounds unnaturally. And you also start getting fuzzy jaggies if you start expanding it beyond what the original sizing, was intended to be. So we can help with that as well. That's part of the process of receiving your content
Early.
prior, so that if we do need to touch things up, we can.
Right, and so this will be on, again, the Crowd Compass app, and so Denise and Jen will be working on making sure these are uploaded into a way that's favorable and exciting to look at. So what you send will be important. So that's why we're showing you this, but we'll be able to work with it. So, and you can send the videos as you saw in the previous slide. So if you have a video, that's fine as well. You can create one as well.
Okay, next one, please. Jen, you want to take this because this is your page here?
Sure, no problem. Denise and I are Tree Branch Group. Some of us may have met the prior year, maybe not. We provide the marketing support, social media for MSCCA. In this particular role, we're going to be providing additional graphic design support and marketing support. So if you need any photo editing, graphic design, we're going to be working with the video interviews for each of the exhibitors. And we're also doing the linking for the sites, embedding any videos, and additional technical support. And we're also here to help CEI with anything that they need as well.
Okay, go ahead, Marcia.
Yeah, so CEI, I think we've gone over it. Obviously, I'm going to manage all your live streams. Keep an eye on your questions, your analytics. I'm here to fully support and make sure this virtual meeting is a success. So please, if there's any questions or you have any concerns about your content or how anything's going to work, please reach out to me via Chris. You have my contact information right there. But definitely looking forward to this event.
And Max, there was a question about the analytics. And I said, as you click on now to the page, I think we're getting to the page where you're going to pull up where we've already downloaded some of these things to share on Crowd Compass. But, how do we know the people are in there and how long they're in there, those kinds of things? Do you want to share that with the exhibitors or do you want to get onto the page and do that?
Yeah, I mean, once we get on there, we'll be able to, I'll show the platform itself, but we can let Barry talk again.
Okay. This is my page. Obviously, reach out to me for anything. All your content, please send in, and we'll review it just like your banner ads and things like that. I've never had to turn any down, so I don't expect to have to turn any of these down. My contact information has not changed, so you all, probably everybody on here has this, with maybe the exception of Andrew, because I don't think I've ever met you yet. There that is. That's an easy page for
The
everyone.
only difference is his hair is longer and he's got hair on his face, more hair on his face. Got it.
Yeah, well,
It's a COVID situation.
it's all going away Tuesday, folks.
Oh, well, then it might be good for September.
Yeah.
Okay, keep going.
Next screen, please, Marcia.
Okay, Max.
Looks like my turn, maybe.
Yeah, Max, you can go ahead and pull up the Crowd Compass.
Here we go. Can everybody see my screen? Yeah?
I
You can
can't.
give a thumbs up if you can see your screen, or give the.
Yeah, chat if you can't.
So anyways, this is the homepage. So this is what the attendees are first going to experience. The way they're going to log in is by the email that they use to register for the event. Once they log in, on this left-hand side, this is kind of like their navigation icons on how to get throughout the platform itself. For you guys, we'll go to the exhibitors. We'll be able to go to the exhibitors by name. This is how the attendees are actually going to be able to find you. So this is kind of short. We're obviously still working on it, but this is how it's going to navigate for the attendee experience. For an example, I'll just click on this first one. We have the logo. We can have a description, survey, contact information. And obviously, the more information you get, the more involved the attendees will probably be. You can put your name, business. We can have a geolocation of where your company's located. The surveys are really cool. This is how we track all your analytics. They'll click on that, the attendee name. They can put the email. And all this stuff is going to be tracked, and I'll be able to get this information back to you.
So Erica, we had a question, Max, regarding like if we would be able to know if the person is a teacher, educator, or owner director of a program. So that was one of the questions we've gotten and have gotten before that could be added in our survey because they're customized.
That's correct. So yeah, that's the information that I'm going to need in order to fill these out. These are just generic, when would you like to be contacted? So this is a multiple choice. So you can do short answer, multiple choice, click on it. And then all this information gets put out to an Excel that I'll be able to share with the team.
So Erica, you just submit those questions, or any of you that would like to add to the survey with specific information, we can look at that and then customize the survey to reflect with the connection and interaction that we would like to give you back in analytics.
So for documents, I just uploaded, I think this is our agenda, just for an example. So if you guys have any documents that you want to share with the attendees, we can take PDFs, I can take video files. Again, the more information you get on there, I think the better the experience is going to be for the attendee. Let's see.
We'll also offer networking with each other, meaning that the participants will have that opportunity, but we also want to be sure as it's required, and I think Deb Langener's on here from MSD, it is required for us to, and I explained, Deb, earlier that we will be meeting with MSD as this is new for all of us, but we will have opportunities to engage with the exhibitors and learn more from them as well.
Yeah, so here's the activity feed. Basically like a, social wall. Hello from Max. So everyone will have access to this, all, 1,000 attendees. So you guys can have conversations right here. Also, if we go to, let's see, sessions, speakers. So I believe on the speakers, and I'm going to set this up for you guys as well. There is a chat feature, like a direct link chat feature that we'll be able to set up. So that's a neat option as well. So you can have one-on-one conversations, or messages. So you can, whoever's in here, you'll be able to send a message directly to that person. So that's just another way that you guys can interact throughout the platform.
And this is going to be great because there's the opportunity to build power partnerships among yourselves as well. And you have an extended period of time. Typically when you're at these things, I know from experience, we get very little time to actually talk.
Well, you're trying to get your coffee.
Build that relationship. I think this will actually be a little bit more optimum situation.
And remember, it's open from September 14th to October 14th. So it's a 30-day window for exhibitors and sponsorships. It's not just a one and done during, that short, brief time when people are going through. One of the questions Andrew has, sorry, Andrew, let me go back to it. He was worried about the time if they just click on and how long they're in there. We don't have a time frame that how long people have to be in there. We are going to have a opportunity for live interaction with exhibitors. So we would highly recommend that, but we don't have that. Max, do you want to speak to the analytics of how long people are in there and, requiring them to stay in there a certain period of time? I'm not sure that's.
Yeah, I mean, we can track how long someone's on the platform. I think I don't know if it's going to be by user, but it'll say how long, this was open on the 24th, how long this is open on the 25th, information like that. Also, like things that are clicked on. I can tell you that, your website got clicked on like 500 times, so those analytics will be able to be tracked by that. Again, I think the best analytics are going to be through the surveys. So if you want to gather information, that's going to be key, and I'm going to need to know that information. So that's ideal right there. Here's another neat thing, invitations. So if you want to set up an appointment or what have you, someone might not be on the platform while you're on the platform, but you want to talk to this person. This will send them a message and they'll be able to get that. You guys also all have an experience to edit your own profile. So obviously, the more information you have in here, the better the experience again will be for the attendee. Websites, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and obviously you hit save. As you can see, I put my picture on there. And obviously you can hide or keep it visible. Obviously, if you're a sponsor, an exhibitor, you'd probably want to keep that visible. Any questions so far about the platform or the navigation of anything? Oh, I guess Barry was alluding to the attendees. So once they get registered, you'll be able to see this is the information that, is available. And the more information, you can direct message this person, add contact, and again, set your meetings. So all that information will be on your attendees. Same with the speakers. So the more information they put on there, the more you'll have in your wheelhouse.
And if you look at that, the titles are listed on here, just to share with Novick Brothers, or I don't know if that's, she changed her name, sorry, Erica. It says senior staff or teacher or director, preschool 2 teacher. So you'll see that they have some titles already listed, but we can dive further into that, I guess, in the survey, but it is part of the attendee requirement, if that's helpful to you.
And I don't know if anyone will be joining any sessions, but obviously all the sessions are going to be here by day. This is just one I created for a test. So you'll be able to view the cast. So this will be the live session. You'll click here, it'll launch you into a window. Obviously you have your password here, so it's password protected, so no one can just jump in there outside of the meeting. The Q&A will be done on the platform itself, but again, we can set up surveys. We have the assessments. Again, and all this information will be tracked. So I've already answered these questions. So,
and we'll also have, for example, for sessions in particular, we'll have learning outcomes questions related to that. That's more specific, but we have generic ones as well. So.
Yeah. And the great thing about the sessions are, they'll let you know actually who's speaking in that session. So you'll be able to track that information as well.
Alyssa says, can Crowd Compass export data to CRM like Salesforce or HubSpot? Denise or Jen or Max want to take that? I know Crowd Compass exports a lot of data. I have to make sure.
Denise.
Got that answer in it right now.
Great.
Thank you.
It has a lot of capability, but let them answer it. And Andrew would like to know, do you have any recent data of what percentage of childcare centers are open and that percentage are staffed generally? I can answer that. 69% of childcare is open, and that includes family childcare providers. 25%, as was the last Thursday's call with MSDE, are center-based childcare. So there are less center-based childcare, and you know that center-based childcare has more slots. They account for about 150,000 slots, give or take, before COVID. So, and family childcare accounts for about 50,000 slots because they can have a total of 8, but that's if their own children aren't they're not counted in that. So, I mean, they are counted in that. So, there is obviously, issues. We have right now, still have 776 people registered. That includes speakers and presenters, but we are working with MSTE as these vouchers. A number of those are vouchers, and we do have almost 200 vouchers accounted for. But at this point, we're still working through that as we have to work through the system where they have to reapply. And so we've been in constant contact with those voucher-related registration. So we're working hard, continuing. We've reopened registration, working on the wait list so they can get in and register as well. So we've excited to be able to expand to the 500 to 1,000, but again, we should have a good turnout. Hopefully that answers your questions a little bit, Andrew. But yes, it's an advocacy. MSCCA has been extremely diligent in our advocacy since March 27th, related to children, families, and access and childcare, and supporting and stabilizing that. But we're working, and we represent primarily center-based childcare and private preschool and nursery schools. So we are working hand in hand on advocacy.
Just want to touch back to the prior question, and that is a yes, that the data does export to a CSV file to bring into your CRM.
Okay, Lisa, there you go. It does export. And Andrew, they need this conference. So the conference is, so you can get CEUs or a core of not COKs also, continued training. We have lots of different names for these things, but those can be given in multiple ways. And Deb is on here as well from MSD. You can get that from virtual training that's being done throughout our state and country. But MSD approves this conference, and you can get 2 professional activity units for attending a statewide conference. You can get professional activity units for being a member of an association. And the CEUs we're offering through Loyola College as well. And that is being addressed with our presenters and participants if they put in for those hours that are required through our conference is approved for that as well. So yes, they need core of knowledge if they want to keep up their credentialing, if that's one of your questions, Andrew. And a lot of providers are credentialed in our state. It's one way to access more funding. It's a way to access training vouchers, which we use to pay for these types of things like conferences and college classes and pre-service, meaning that you can get your certification that you need to be a teacher for infants, toddlers, preschool, school age, directors, those types of things. So hopefully I'm hoping I'm giving you the information that you need. The conference gives you a lot of credits in one, sitting, and that's why it's been extremely successful and popular, because we try to do have a quality experience that meets and checks and exceeds all the boxes necessary with our state, and we've been partnering with them. They're doing MSD does a lot of our training with us at the conference and supports what we do, and we again continue to even in the situation of COVID, that we continue to offer a quality experience, although virtually, in a safe manner.
Max, I got a question that was sent to my phone here.
Sure.
So during this conference, there is really no need for an exhibitor to be live, except for the time frame that we determined them for their, I'll call it one-on-one, but hopefully it'll be more than one-on-one. So you don't have to be, correct me if I'm wrong, or Jen and Denise, you do not have to be live for that 30-day time frame. You really only have to be live for that one block of time we've set aside for your interaction with the participants.
I can speak to that. So, I think they would want to look at our agenda. Obviously, there's breaks and networking time. If they're on the platform, they might get a direct message. They might miss an opportunity where they would be able to chat with somebody. So I would try to, work around that schedule and be available during those breaks and networking periods of times. Again, they can be left messages so they can address that at a later date and time. But, again, I think it'd be good from the 24th to the 27th to have time set aside. And
we will. We talked about having like the 4 hours on Wednesday and 4 hours on Thursday as well in our team, and we'll work together to, if you can't be live, that's okay. It's an opportunity to be live if you choose to do so based on what we're able to offer just for the exhibitor component.
I believe that you would get a notification as well if a message was left to your email, so you would get pinged as well. Correct me if I'm wrong now.
Notification on that.
Especially if you have the app downloaded on your phone. If I push any notifications, you see this up in the right-hand menu. The great thing about this platform itself is there's that app feature. So the session's about to begin. That's going to bing your phone. If you get a message, that'll bing your phone. So downloading the Crowd Compass app is definitely beneficial.
And you'll be instructed to do that as registrants. So once it's live, you'll be instructed to do that.
Right. So we're using a web platform, and also we'll still have the app available. So you'll be able to access from both the desktop and your phone or tablet.
Right. And so it's the app. I don't know if you can see it. It's Crowd Compass. It's attendee hub, but there's a lot of great features. It was very well received last year when we added this component. So we did contract with it again for future years, and it's very easy to use, and it does give the exhibitors, even more interaction, and you will get notified.
I don't know if I went over this, but as you can see down here at the bottom, you have the featured sponsors. So just a little bit more of a highlight, since it's going to be on the main homepage, obviously, and they can click on that and it'll bring you directly to your area.